Adam Kinzinger is a Republican congressman from the great state of Illinois. He serves on the House Foreign Affairs Committee and is co-sponsoring new legislation requiring congressional approval before lifting Russian sanctions. Nice to see you, Congressman.
Hey, it's great seeing you. How are you?
I'm good. Okay, so let's say that the House passes the bill that you're co-sponsoring. The Senate, I think, has already done one like that. Why in the world would the president ever sign it? Because it's cutting his authority. He's not going to go for that one.
Well, and that's obviously part of how politics works, whether he'll sign it or not. I think it's important, as much as anything, though, to say that we're basically reaffirming that Congress has a role in deciding this, and it's just a safety level. Look, we're not the chief executive of the United States, so there's a lot of foreign policy decisions he can make. But just like we did with Iran sanctions related to that, Congress has a role to play here, and I think it's important to put out. And this is the companion piece to what has been done in the Senate.
All right, what are the odds he's going to sign it? Do you think?
Well, probably pretty low. If it comes to his desk, I don't know. But at the end of the day, we may have enough people to override that if that's the case. But again, even if it doesn't get through this House and through the Senate and to the president's desk, I think it's important to send the message, though, that look, Congress is committed to working with the president to say, okay, if this is part of a broader negotiation, that's one thing, but you're not going to unilaterally lift these sanctions.
I know with your military background that you're really interested in this story involving Russia and other parts of the world where we have conflict, of course. What are your thoughts about an investigation into Russia and any contacts with the Trump campaign or anybody or any former staffer for with Trump?
So I agree with your previous guest in saying, the Senate Intel Committee, they've said that they're going to take this up. That is where you do investigations like this. I think to call for a 9/11 type commission is overkill on this. So I think we need to get to the bottom of this. These are answers we deserve. But ultimately, specifically on the Flynn thing, I think the cover-up in this case is far worse than the crime, depending on what was discussed. And in fact, later, find out he talked to the FBI. We want to know if he told the truth to the FBI or not. And if he lied, in fact, that's what can lead to a lot of trouble. So I think the Senate Intel Committee is perfectly capable of getting to the bottom of this, answers that we need, and I think we'll get them.
I've been pointing out every night that Jeremy Bash, who worked for CIA Director Panetta and Secretary of Defense Panetta, and who I sort of looked to for guidance on this, he said that he would expect or have no problem. Maybe those are my words, with Flynn talking to the Russian ambassador in the transition period. So so that the content of it, whether it's about sanctions or not, it's really what happened later in the misleading of the vice president.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So again, technically, can you say it's a violation of this Logan Act, which has never been enforced? Possibly. But you do have an incoming administration that is talking to a very powerful country, Russia, talking about how this relationship is going to go forward. I think had sanctions been brought up, we found out they were, had General Flynn simply said, yeah, either the ambassador brought it up to me or I mentioned it to him, that's one thing. Now, I think it's very improper, though, because this was right during when the prior administration was discussing what to do about it. So depending on exactly what was discussed could be very highly improper, but the sin came afterwards, it seems like, in the cover-up.
Congressman, thank you.
Anytime. Thanks.